Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Aquarius June 2023 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant, and I've done a number of one-on-one clairvoyant readings for Aquarians from different parts of the world over the course of the last month, and you know who you are. And if you might be interested to see what's involved, just check out the information that's in the description box below. And I've also done healings for Aquarians as well. Readings I charge for, healings are free. The information's in the description. But depending on what country you live in and when you see this, I need to tell you that with respect to the healing, I think there are regulations that say that when I say that, you have to go and seek licensed medical attention at the same time. Fair enough. So you get that. Now, what we're going to do, now I'm going out for a lunch date, a play date at lunchtime with a lovely lady. And I propose that I go down to a restaurant on the water and eat lots of seafood and drink lots of champagne and wine while I enjoy the scenery, as it were. And so I am going to do that after I've taped your reading for you. I shall be disappearing out into the sun, out into the warmth of the star that is Father to us all. Now, let us see what there is in store here now that the subscribers know, and it's always so great to see the subscribers. I love to see you each month, truly I do. I love doing the Aquarius reading. Well, you know that we don't have any video advertisements breaking their way into this content, and so you get to enjoy the experience uninterrupted by commercial intrusions and things like that. Now, you also know that we only need to take 5 cards because it's not just a 10-second or a 5-second flip that we do here. Rather, the cards all have a lot to say to you, don't they? Each one of them. Now, we can only do 5 because otherwise we would be here for an hour or so. Now, let's see what there is in store for you this month. Get underway. 9 of Swords. Healer of Swords. And here, 6 of Swords. Gee, you can't make this up. You can see me shuffling them very well. Healer of Cups. That might be from here somewhere. This is the 4 of Cups. Right, why don't you come sit down here next to me. We'll have a good close look at the paintings on the cards together while I do the reading for you. Why have you drawn this 9 of Swords first? I think maybe you're ruminating about things. This could also be a piece of advice to you not to ruminate through things, where you look back on your past and you think of a failure. Even when you weren't the person that has done it, you sometimes think that you somehow must have caused this to happen. Don't you feel like that sometimes? Now, in the painting here, a woman walks a maze, I suppose, made out of something or other. And it's really only from up at this bird's eye view that you can see that there is a maze which has a dead end here, a dead end here, but there is a way out. But what you're doing is maybe you're thinking, your thoughts are turning backwards to things that have happened in the past. But this maze can only be seen when you take a bird's eye view of your situation. Now, it's not necessary, I don't think, for the woman to see the pattern. Maybe it's only for her to continue on her way. In a sense, she is taking a trust walk because, well, she isn't in control and can't see up ahead. Well, you must use your intuition and senses to feel your way along. Slowly, you realize that if you're paying attention, that the next step always becomes obvious, although you have no idea where it will lead, maybe. All you can do is take one step at a time, trusting that it will take you where you need to go. But this is suggesting, I think, more that we unpack this energy somewhat more. And these thoughts, I think that sometimes that you come to, very often they come at night when you are feeling the most vulnerable, guilt, worry, anxiety, or sorrow. They torture you. Well, more particularly, you torture yourself. Now, there's a 9 here, and that's the number of returns that comes in all the time. The astrology is Mars in Gemini, and the one-pointed nature of Mars doesn't sit well with the scattered energy of Gemini. Now, your inner demons are haunting you, perhaps with fear and doubt. They can cause you emotional pain and anguish. Well, the key here is to recognize, confront, and work through your pain, a pain that probably you have been holding on to for a very long time. But the gift of this energy is the realization that you are not alone, but you are connected to the greater whole, and of course to the divine. You are a soldier of light and need to forever follow that loving light with every thought you make and action that you take. Now, this can talk about circumstances also that trouble your heart and mind, signaling a time of retreating maybe from the outer world as you process worry, deep grief, or loss. This isn't saying that these are going to occur, as I say, because there's so many other good things coming on. This is almost showing you the way to get out of it, I think. It's time for releasing pain and cleansing the soul and heart so that healing can occur. The lost part in your heart can never be filled. But you understand, I hope, that with time, and if you allow yourself to be in the light of love, you can grow a new heart. Very often, we see events, as I say, as being our fault, as being a failure somehow or other on our behalf. And these thoughts come around and around and around, as I say. Well, the acceptance of your failures, if you want to think of them like that, is in reality the acceptance of your Creator's perfection. Now, one of the biggest mistakes is to ignore what happens within you. There is no shame in letting your Creator know that you are falling and that you need Him to pick you up. The fall of the ego becomes the rise of the soul. Your soul wants to meet you. It wants to breathe. It wants to speak. It wants to see with the clarity of the eyes of your heart. Now, these eyes of the heart are the eyes bestowed directly upon you by your Creator to witness Him and His pleasure. And the friends of the divine are not in search of their own eyes, they are in search of His eyes. Now, you do get past this, and you see, you are loved. You are loved from several directions. And it's telling me that I need to do this before I do this for some reason. Untying the Mask is the title of the painting. And what we have here is, I suppose, look, we all want to have a self that we are proud of or feel good about. You do, don't you? But when you get disconnected from your own basic goodness because of negative feedback from your environment, you may try to make up for that by developing an image of who you think you should be. Well, don't feel like that, because you then try to support and maintain this image by developing certain personas or masks. And the more false the persona, the more support it takes to maintain it. But you might end up feeling empty underneath and wanting desperately to protect your own image. And you can, if people attack you and point out that you are playing a role, react angrily when someone challenges you. Now, that may be the case, but I very much am getting this coming through, and it's related, it's connected to this They're connected, you see, because this energy here brings balance back to your heart, and it indicates a time to reflect on the emotional self, and it presents you the opportunity to shift stuck energy. Now, you may, when this energy comes in, have been feeling out of sync, out of sorts, uncertain about life even, or not sure about what action to take. Well, this calls you to reevaluate your situation truthfully and honestly. This is Mercury coming into Aquarius, your sign. Now, Mercury is the great intellect of the zodiac. And of course, Aquarius is the great intellect of the zodiac as well. So the key to this energy is about self-reflection, viewing and re-evaluating outgrown emotional parts and shifting energies of discontentment. Put them away, put them out of your mind to a room of neutrality. Do you know, very often in these things which trouble your thoughts and which wound your precious heart, sometimes you need to just remember that what has happened has happened. It wasn't right that it happened. You can't take the words back, nor can someone take their words back. But very often when someone attacks you, you can sometimes feel that it's been your fault. Well, that's an outgrown emotional part. The gift here is it restores emotional balance to you, bringing peace, renewal, and movement forward. Now, on the journey of life and in spiritual growth, you can sometimes experience lack of motivation with feelings of disenchantment or self-doubt. And maybe you're thinking what used to bring you happiness leaves you flat. Well, what is happening, of course, is that your inner being is saying that there is within you a desire to emotionally stretch and grow, clarifying and reviewing emotional values. Now, when this 4 turns up, you can often find yourself in one of two positions: total self-absorption or inner self-reflection. Self-absorption can lead to long periods of self-pity and rumination. It's not to be the case, and to emotional stagnation. But self-reflection can really change up the energies, moving and shifting discontentment and troubling, repeating thoughts away from you to enable you to accept the gifts of opportunity and possibility that is coming to you. Now, this is suggesting to you, and I think it is in connection with this 9 that's there, that, look, maybe there is something off, signaling a time to rebalance, allowing a time to withdraw, to regain your emotional balance and trust in your heart. Ease your emotions with just enjoying yourself, reading inspirational books, checking out funny things on YouTube, or taking a long walk in nature. But also open yourself to the whispers of the soul self and of the divine. I don't think that this is a time to be making any hasty conclusions about things or decisions in relation to, I'll just bash my head on that, or decisions in relation to other things. Ask yourself, what feels outgrown? What do I need to let go, and how do I do that? Well, Mercury here in the airy planet of Mercury, in the fixed sign of air, that is telling you how to move ahead. Well, I'm telling you also that trust these cycles of change. This period is one of the many cycles in life that brings the gift of inner cleansing. And this also brings to you expansion, growth, but importantly, it's a time of emotional stability. There is the opportunity to open yourself up to heart wisdom, allowing you to shift and move stuck energy, revitalizing your heart, your mind, and your senses. You have the ability to overcome your past. Well, let us now turn to that center card that's there. It's called structuring or structure or something for the journey. Is that what it says? It does. Structure or structuring, something or other. Now the six-sided, and this is six, and a hexagon, that means a thing with six sides. That's really one of the main building blocks found in nature altogether, you know. The actual chemical structure of wood is a hexagon, as well as the cells in your body. Did you know that? So I guess this is about structure and a journey. It's all about your daily life structures that support your deeper unfoldment. Now the elements of journey and structure are both present here in a way. Here is this person following a winding path, and yet there's also structure which is coming from these snowflakes, which of course are hexagonal. There's six little things sticking out of them. And they indicate a definite form, the snow crystals, don't they? Whereas, you see, water is formless and runs everywhere and you fall into it. But snow and ice, they have this crystalline structure which lets you stand on them and make things out of them. Now I'm looking at this card here and I have it with the moon in Taurus as an energy that's here, which is really good. Now the moon is exalted in Taurus. Taurus is ruled, as you would know, by Venus. And what Venus does is it receives the moon into her home, I suppose, of Taurus, and treats her as an honored guest. Now the honored guest of the moon is very nurturing. And Taurus, it loves the good things in life, and it loves fashion, makeup, it loves clothes, it loves cars, it loves phones, it loves good food, good wine, good sex. And the moon nurtures these desires in Taurus so that you will have a satisfying environment and life around you, because you're getting past what's come there from that thing there. Because as you move away from painful grief, conflict, and negativity to the peace of mind, which has been shown by that, which is being stressed also by this, you're coming into a new potential. You see, if life did feel overwhelming with thoughts going around and round and round, you know your Achilles heel, you see, so you're able to attack yourself like nobody else can. But if you had things about difficulty or stress or feelings of failure, well, this energy here is bringing a quiet, calm departure from those experiences, giving you time to recover and to dream of new horizons. This is the beginning, perhaps, of a spiritual journey to healing. Now, the key to this is to walk away from unhealthy situations that are depleting your personal power and stealing your self-worth. Now, the gift of this six is universal support, divine protection, guiding you to a deeper understanding of yourself and your life, and regaining your strength, your spiritual strength, so that you can begin anew if you want to. Now, it's interesting that this has come up in the center of the block, but right next to that, and with this thing in here, is because it is speaking to you that you will be stepping away from difficult situations. You will be cutting through illusions and fixed perspectives and moving into truth, viewing life from a clearer perspective. Now, whatever difficulties you have experienced, or think you have experienced, or think you are going to experience, and you won't, whatever aggravation and thoughts that has created for you, those things are now leaving. Now, you may be feeling depleted, but remember, those thoughts and feelings come from outgrown perspectives and attitudes that need to be shifted into a higher way of thinking. And this energy brings you to a safe place where you can pick up what you might think are the pieces in your life. This represents you getting stronger mentally. See, this swords, you know you're the fixed sign of air. This is all swords energy. This is all mental energy that's going on here. You're getting stronger mentally, but also emotionally, probably physically as well. And this is signaling that your life is moving in a positive direction. Look, the tides of life are always shifting between the polarities of positive and negative energies, aren't they? Well, all you have to do is to keep centered and balanced while flowing with the rhythm of life. Look, sometimes you can get lost out there. Who doesn't? Well, this is bringing you back to your inner home. Now, isn't it interesting that these two remaining cards are entitled Healers of Cups, healing the inner child? Oh, thanks a million. What does that mean? I do know a number of things it does mean, and I'll get to them in just a second. But let's have a look at this. Also, because this is just giving you another layer. And what there is here is, I think there's a woman who sends healing energy through her hands to the heart of her inner child. Now there's a spirit guide that is assisting her from behind, sending energy through the woman's heart, and a stream of light connects them all, reminding you that the child, the adult, and the spiritual self are all connected. They're all parts of you. They're all you. But you are on the mend. Now, I think that what is going on is that this wise and loving woman that's here, she is offering to you unconditional love. She channels divine love, reflecting its infinite wisdom to the world around her. And that, of course, includes you. Now, she is highly intuitive, as I think you will be. You could also be quite spiritual and psychic during this period. And what she's saying is that you will listen and trust your intuition. Now, she and you will now become sure of yourself and communicate your thoughts and feelings from a place of love without judgment or criticism. Now, this can also refer to a mother, a wife, a sibling, a lover, a friend who is loyal, loving, compassionate, and caring. In that case, I think that's liable to be it could well be, I think the Cancer and Gemini is going to be important to you. These court cards, of course, can be of either gender. I should have reminded you of that. But because she's turned up here, she's asking you to reflect on deeper aspects of yourself. What dream or vision is calling you? What watery realms within are starting to shift? Well, she's here to assist you through emotional transitions. Now, when challenges do confront you, she reminds you to remember what brings true happiness to your heart and to let the dead talk to the dead. And that includes past thoughts and regrets or failures. Because she is saying, and you must now, be gentle with yourself as much as you are to others. I think that she is inspiring you to live your life through love, to follow what your heart seeks by listening and trusting your intuition without judgment. And what she is saying is that she's inviting you to embrace your heartfelt truth rather than fighting it. You see, ultimately, self-love and self-trust opens all doors, and she's bringing to you the gifts of love, nurturing, healing, and creative imagination. With her by your side, you will, I think, dream deeply and be extra sensitive to the energies and inspirations that open your heart and light up your creative spirit. Now that takes us finally, and we'll have to deal with it rather quickly, I think, because I'm aware of your time. Here is a mapping the mind. Well, there's a woman here who is very aware that she is connected to the universe and the divine. She has, I can see, a star in that hand and the moon in that hand, and she has become part of the energy that's coming down from the divine. And there is a mandala behind her, which is a Tibetan Buddhist type of pattern that you focus on when praying or meditating or what have you. Now, I think that Libra and Virgo are going to be important to you. This is channeling pure divine thought and truth through to you now. Her intellect and your intellect and perception are going to make you a leader of authenticity and of justice for humanity. You will be gracious and just, is what I can see here. That's what she's saying to me. Now, you will have almost like a photographic memory for things here, and you will approach all situations in life now prepared with a focused authority. You'll be independent and confident, I think, and you won't recognize excuses or justifications. As a warrior for truth and honesty, you won't tolerate false perceptions in yourself anymore, or in other people, as it turns out. And you'll think ahead, make plans, and communicate it with great action. Libra and Virgo are energies that I'm getting here. You'll have a very precise mind and a strong will, and this will enable you to cut through confusion, fear, and doubt. This is a very powerful force in your life, so get ready for transformation. You are going to be asked to be clear about the path you've taken. Are you following your soul purpose? What distractions are you allowing to misguide you? I think the lesson here is very clear. Honest, forthright opinions about your choices need to be made and delivered. Discover your power by facing and removing blocks and thoughts and fears that hold you back from your truth and free will. This is really a transformatory energy here. It's demanding you cut through any belief systems or patterns that fog your mind and block your heart. She awakens the sacred warrior of clarity and truth within you, cutting away the blocks that shadow your inner light and strength. And she brings you great wisdom and healing. What a great set of cards for you this month. Good job, you. I really enjoy doing your readings for you each month, honestly, truly I do. I love, look at that was a great reading, I thought, for you. I think there's some great things in store for you this month. And don't you deserve it? Really you do. And now look, unless I see you privately during the course of the month over the next few weeks, then I'll see you again next month. Now, until I see you, remember one thing and one thing only, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. Until then, it's bye for now.